low-quality fans of a high-quality Bruins team. That is not a dub. I'm being a little quiet. It's 12:30 a.m. Probably won't be done with all this stuff till maybe 2 a.m.-ish, and I have a 5 a.m. wake-up time for work tomorrow. Nice! And then we get to do it all again tomorrow. We got a great game, though. I know basic gist from social media, people seem upset about a bunch of things with this one. I don't think you really can be. You're going to lose games sometimes. A shootout loss to the Colorado Avalanche is nothing to go, all right, blow it up for. We played poorly through good portions of it, which is frustrating, but to also walk away with a point, I mean, we're going to talk about this, but I really thought this team fought back well. There's guys who stepped up. There's guys who didn't have it tonight. That's hockey. But when you talk about the guys who stepped up, our captain, and then Coyle, of course, was great. Wotherspoon played a really solid game. You have your usual culprits of guys who let you down. We're going to talk about one in particular once again. But for the most part, you got to be happy with that effort. And if you stayed up to watch that game, you got to watch a hell of a game. That third period was intense. I feel like, I don't know if you're like me, it went to overtime and shootout and everything. I got less invested. I still wanted the win, obviously, but just that regulation aspect of it as things started to get down to the nitty-gritty, it was intense. That was a really good hockey game. It was our first meeting against the like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. No, first meeting against Colorado Avalanche this year. They are 7-2-1 coming into this game, and most of their stats are kind of where you'd expect them to be. Top 10 in the power play, top 10 in the penalty kill, second best offense in the league, and they have the 18th most goals allowed per game. That's a little weird. Defensively, you wouldn't think they'd be poor, and it's not all Georgiev's fault, although I don't think he's been great. He really hasn't been great. An .895 save percentage through his starts. Almost 3 goals allowed per game. You remember when I talked about in the power rankings before the season, we should do another power rankings video. But the power rankings before the season, we talked about Vegas like this, Colorado, there was another team. Edmonton. Teams that I ranked really highly, but also I'm not confident in their goaltending. And a lot of people were like, Georgiev's been awesome. I don't know why you'd say that. I don't think he's a great goaltender. I don't think he's a bad one. I just don't think he's a great one. And he's really struggling this year. But the Avs have all the speed in the world and a ton of talent. Their top 6 and top pair can go against really anybody and be effective. For us, our lines remain mostly the same, except for Beecher is going to slot in for Lauko on that left wing fourth line. Boquist is going to center, but Beecher is going to be taking faceoffs. Monty had said he specifically put him back in for that. Beecher had a couple huge plays in this one. I'd expect him to stay in the lineup. And then Lohrei gets the night off. Wotherspoon and Shattenkirk will be your third. And Wotherspoon continues to solidify himself in that role. I feel like I usually have more preamble than this, but I don't. Puck drops! Slow start for the boys. Outshot 8-2 through the first 6 minutes. And at 6:36 in, Marchand said it called for slashing. We're going to the penalty kill. Was it a slash? Absolutely. If you're sticking your hand out like this and you got one hand on your stick and someone knocks it out of your hand, I would never hold my stick with 2 hands in the NHL. Ever. Because it feels like anytime it's knocked out of their hands, they call it. Ever. Just always one hand. During the PK, though, Coyle steals it right in front of Georgiev. I'm going to point out a lot of moments we almost scored in this one. And he gets stoned 5-hole. And then 15 seconds later, another shorthanded break. This time it's DeBrusk, who on the breakaway tries to go across Georgiev's body. And again, he's going to get stoned across the crease. No room for him. We kill off the penalty. It was a great penalty kill. And then 9:38 left. Cogliano is going to go for tripping. We're going to go to the power play. And it's not a good power play for the first 58 seconds. And then Pasta makes a great play, feeding Zacha as they get into the zone on the blue line. It allows us to get set up. And then Zacha just tosses the puck to Marchand, who's circling the top of the left circle. He's just spinning up there. Defenders moving toward him, defenders moving back, and he just keeps going. Zacha goes right to the front of the net, and Marchand just picks his spot, fires glove side, beats Georgiev with Zacha laying the screen, and it's 1-0 power play goal. Marchand, shoot the puck! I love when you shoot the puck. I love it so much. And you so commonly don't. I don't understand why. He's so good. 1-0 on the power play. on a period that we've been thoroughly outplayed so far, and Brad Marchand now ties Rick Middleton for 5th on the Bruins' all-time scoring list with 898 points. 4:34 left. Coyle is going to go for tripping. He trips McKinnon. There's nothing you can do about this. That was, the puck movement, right circle, to the slot, to the center of the blue line, to the left circle, where McKinnon draws Carlo toward him, because you have to respect that shot, and uses that to feed Rantanen, who's right in front of the net, roofs it over Swayman. No chance for anybody to make a play on this puck. Sometimes the power play is too good. It's a man advantage for a reason. You can't be perfect on it. 1-1. I blame no one for that goal. That was just beautiful. Beautiful by the Avs. And then 1:44 left. Johnson's going to go for hook, and we're going to the power play. 23 seconds into it, McAvoy fumbles the puck on the blue line and has to trip Cogliano to save the shorthanded chance. It's 4v4 for 137, and then it's going to be a short power play for the Avs. 14-6, outshot in the first. We were never really in the first, and yet we walk away tied. You take that. You take that all day. It gives you a chance to wake up. And the second period starts. We're 4v4 for the first 10 seconds, and then 23-second penalty kill. Nothing comes from it. But 2:23 in, Zacha and Shattenkirk run into each other. The puck is moved into our zone. Shattenkirk grabs it, and he tries to spin off of the attacking player, who is O'Connor, and ends up running right into Zacha, who for some reason followed him the whole way. So when Shattenkirk turned to his blind side to try to shake O'Connor, they turn the puck over. O'Connor gets a freebie in on Swayman, beats him high glove. It's 2-1. I'm not blaming Shattenkirk here. You're a defenseman being pressured. You need to skate away from the pressure. I have no clue what Zacha was doing there. Give him an outlet. Back up. Don't skate right to him. I have no clue what that play was. Either way, it's 2-1. 4:41 in. Heinen's going to go for tripping. Penalty kill time. As the penalty expires, a pasta blast from the right side of the slot. Big save, but the puck bounces to Heinen with a wide open net, and I do mean wide open, and it bounces over his stick. So that's now 2 breakaways in a wide open net. Didn't capitalize on them. We stayed down a goal. I also got to see something that I've never seen before, and it turns out the last time this happened, I believe, was 2006. 12:47 left. It's going to be a 4v4 because each team gets called for too many men. And if you watch the replay, I don't get it. It didn't seem to affect the play at all. If both teams, I don't know why they called anything. I think they called the Avs initially for it, which they did on the ice, realized they screwed up, so they just took one of the Bruins as well. It was really weird. Either way, 4v4 for 2 minutes. I've never seen 2 teams called for too many men at the same exact time. So strange. During the 4v4, it's a nice find by Pasta, who gets the puck to Lindholm all alone in the slot, to the point where Lindholm could walk down Main Street, breakaway style, and get right in on Georgiev. Instead, he decides to hammer this on net, which is fine. You're got an open chance for a slot. Take it. Misses high and wide. And so that's now 2 breakaways, a wide open net, and a wide open chance from the middle of the slot. Did not capitalize it. We stayed down by a goal. But 9:55 left of the period. We set up in their zone, and Carlo, skating the blue line, doesn't have a lot of options, so he's just going to chuck it down the left wall. Heinen's going to jump on that and super smoothly skates around the net, chucks it into the crease. It takes 50,000 bounces in 0.4 seconds, and Beecher, who is in front of Georgiev by about 4 or 5 feet, makes a diving play to smack this short side, or I should say back door, really, to tie this game up 2-2. Beecher had a couple really good shifts in this one. That was a responsible line. I was pretty happy with what we got from the fourth for this one. It's a tie game! With so many chances that we have missed, so many things that have gone wrong for us through this one, it's a tie game. We just gotta bury a chance or two. And then with 3:30 left, Pasta gets a breakaway and mishandles the puck. It bounces over his stick. Like he had it and then it just gone. Doesn't even get to threaten a shot. He couldn't buy one tonight. He couldn't buy one. 2:04 left. Avs win the face-off on the right side of our zone, and Malinsky just backs his way to the center of the blue line, wrists this blocker side. I don't know if it gets tipped, but it's going to go through a forest of bodies. Beat Swayman, high blocker. It's 3-2. So infuriated. You've had so many chances. You've had 2 breakaways, a wide open net, a chance directly from the slot, and then another breakaway. All that said, we're also getting outshot 23-14, and they have more pressure than us. But we've really turned it on about midway through the second, which is ironic because Carlo also went down the tunnel midway through the second. I didn't see exactly what had happened with him, but he would not return. He had an upper body injury. Third period starts, and the boys are buzzing. We're the better team officially for a part of this game. Third period, 5:46 in, and Marchand dekes through 2 players just to get into the zone. There's no reason for him to do this. He could have dumped it, line change. No, he dekes through 2 guys, sets up by himself in there waiting for everyone else to finish their line change, and then him and Coyle put on a clinic. I mean, shots, puck retrievals, possession, keep away, over and over and over again for the next 25 seconds. And it's all going to come to a peak when Coyle is on the right wall. He's going to spin. He sees Marchand, who kind of drifted away from him a bit to the high slot, book it towards the crease. He's going to pick up the speed and fling this directly into the crease. It's a perfect pass, tape to tape, and Marchand is able to roof it over Georgiev. It's 3-3, tie game. 6 minutes in, we've got a lot of third period left against a high-powered squad. We belong in this game. We belong in this game officially. A game that just hasn't gone our way. And then 8 minutes in, it's a great feed by Geeky DePasta, who dekes through 1 defender and gets a one-on-one Georgiev, who comes up huge again. And then back the other way, Swayman also makes a huge save on Johnson. The terrible management of a 2-on-1 by McAvoy. We're not going to talk about that. But Swayman makes a save. He would make a couple massive saves in this one. I just want to point out once again, you've now had 4 total breakaways. You've had a shot on a wide open net, and you've had a shot from Lindholm in the center of the slot. Didn't capitalize on any of them. Any of them. 7:31 left. Grizz for high sticking. An unbelievably stupid play at this junction of the game. Dude, what the This game's so good, so intense. High sticking. Didn't even have to do it. It's a great kill, though. It's a fantastic kill. 2:43 left. Lindholm. Look, I think Lindholm is getting a bad rap for the season. I think he's getting more blame than he deserves. He's had a couple of bad games recently. That being said, we have the puck with possession in their zone. And the puck gets wrapped around to Lindholm, who's above the left circle. And he collects it. He has options and time, and he opts to just wildly slam this towards the net. Not on the ground. It was not on the ice for a tip or a good deflection, anything. Nope, up high, misses by a mile, goes back around the other way, and off come the Avalanche, getting out of their zone. You don't do what the other team loves, right? That's like the rule of football, right? Don't do the thing that the other team wants you to do. Don't run that play that every time you run it, they're like, yes, thank you. It goes that way with any sport. It just shows up in football a lot. I have no clue why this was his decision. It was a stupid decision. And then they're going the other way, and it's basically a 2-on-2. And Grizz, on this play, for some reason, just sits high in the zone so that Cogliano can get right behind him for no reason, and it's a 2-on-1 that Lindholm has to handle. Lindholm opts to absolutely body Colton, which is illegal because Colton doesn't have the puck. He's just your option for the pass. So he's going to get called for interference. It's not a great play by Lindholm, as I already highlighted. Not a great play by Grizz. And it's late in a tie game against a team you really want to beat. We kill the penalty, and it's a beautiful kill. And we're going to go to overtime, and McKinnon's terrifying. Swayman makes a couple huge saves. We do get a power play for the last minute 58. Zacha is held by O'Connor. We do nothing with it. And so we're going to go to a shootout, and for some reason in the shootout, 2 out of our 3 shooters opted to go against what usually is successful for them. DeBrusque, instead of putting it on his hip and firing high, doing that little chip shot he loves to do over blocker side, he tries to do this whole crossbody backhand thing, gets poked away, gets too close to Georgiev. So that doesn't work. McKinnon gets stopped low glove, so we're fine. Coyle, he does what he usually does. He goes down smooth, right side, cuts into the slot, tries to backhand high blocker. Usually he has a more direct approach with a little more moves, but this was fine. He just misses wide on it. And then Rantanen, casual skate into the slot, glove save, fine. And I saw this upset a lot of people. Pasta lazily goes down the slot and just flicks this 5-hole. It's an easy save. Nichushkin's the other shooter. He wins it glove side. Whatever. Pasta did exactly what he did for years leading up to last year. And last year he started to change it up. He started to do a little more of the the actual getting in on the goalie, trying to make a move, going high glove. Then, of course, this year it's been more of that hidden shot floor ball kind of thing. But this effort that we saw where everyone's like, that was so lazy. I don't know if you guys just forgot. That's what he used to do every time. He would skate into the slot slowly and with no moves, no fakes, nothing. Wrist shot somewhere. And it always looked like the laziest thing ever. And I am genuinely shocked that no one seems to remember that this is what he did for years. For years. Is he just walked in and just flicked it at a spot. Sometimes it worked. That's not a new thing by any means. But I'm not upset about this result. I wanted to win, obviously. But this is a good result for a team that just didn't have it tonight, it felt like. I mean, seriously. This is going to be part of the game notes. Missed on every opportunity, like every major opportunity we had. There were so many great chances that we just whiffed on. Pasta could not buy any puck luck tonight. And I know, again, a lot of people are upset at him about his overall game. The dude's got 11 points in his last 6 games. He's been awesome for us. He had a bad night. That happens. That genuinely happens. Just wouldn't sit for him at all. We were really bad through 30 minutes. We lost our best penalty killing and best shutdown defenseman midway through the game. I just couldn't buy a call in the third period. Could not buy one. And we still walked away with a point against a really good team. I'm not going to get upset at that. Other game notes, Carlo out with the upper body injury. I have no idea how severe it is because I really don't know what happened, but that's a pretty big landscape change for this team, so we'll see how that kind of goes. Not to be negative, I am out on Grizz. I'm officially out on Grizz. I'm over it. I'm like officially done. I've tried to defend him. I've tried to hold out hope. I've tried to be optimistic about it. He is damn near unplayable. He's so bad. It's not even just the physical stuff. Mentally, like, what are we doing? Players getting behind him, players going right around him, the decisions, the passes, everything's bad. I don't even know what I could compliment him at this point. And look, I know, again, Lindholm's struggling at times. He's not as good as he was last year, all that kind of stuff, but I think Lindholm's still doing a ton for this team on most nights. Grizz, I don't know. I might force him out of the lineup at this point. I don't know what to do with him. I got to put more thought into that because that's just terrible. But the biggest game note, before this game I saw a lot of negativity, which is fine, whatever. Do we belong in these games? The Avalanche have a great record. They are one of the best teams in the league. I think we can all agree on that. And everyone acted like we were these underdogs coming in, which more or less, you're on the road, you don't have as talented as a roster. Like, an underdog's fine. That's a fine title. But, like, we shouldn't even be in the match. The amount of times I saw, hey, maybe we can actually pull this off after we tied the game. What do you mean? This team has earned the right to say they belong in these games. They are, first, second, or third in the league in points, standings points right now? They have earned the right to say they're good enough to play these teams and play them well, and then they do it. So, we belong in these games. None of us believe in our record right now. I'm not saying we should, but from a player's perspective, from a franchise perspective, they have earned the right to say they belong in these games, and then they perform in them. I don't see a problem with that. I just think it needs to be noticed a little more, because this team's solid. Even when they have nights where they just don't have it, they've got a lot of good going for them. Love this team, man. It's nuts that with all the talent we lost, we're still this competitive. Go Bees. Go Bees! Thank you for watching, but of course, we've got to give a shout out to the low-quality YouTube channel members. Need a real name for that one of these days. Starting with the top line tier, the Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Aaron Adams, Coach D, Just Aaron, Han Slomo, Darren Woodbury, Micro Sausage, Brett Arney, Pincent, Justin Barnard, and Nick Zatrullo. You guys are studs. And then we have our Stallions, Abraxion, Hailey E. Coyote, Joel, Jacob Pratt, Jason Ozzy Bruin Connolly, Tupton Ditashi, Jonathan Harvey, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Doots42, Bruins Smash, and Jeremy. Absolute legends. Thank you guys so much for your support, and go Bees.